Hey everyone, so this is my first live. Hopefully I will be saving this for future use, so please bear with the quality. So today I'm going to be talking about how biblical archaeology supports traditional Catholicism. So what's the relevance for this for us as Tradcasts? So there are a few doctrines. I call them the big three. There are three doctrines that support traditional Catholicism, make traditional Catholics different from mainline Vatican II Catholics. One is outside the Big C Catholic Church, there is no salvation. Two, um, ecumenism is false. Do not pray in common with non Catholics. Three, we reject the modern notion of separation of church and state. Now, the magisterial documents that support this are very easy to find. So, obviously, Mortalis Animos by Pope Pius XI condemns the practice of ecumenism, as did the Church Father Saint Ignatius of Antioch. I just posted a video addressing this topic and context of the SSPX consecrations that are supposed to take place this July. What is more, of course, the Ecumenical Council of Florence, chapter, the Bull of Unity Cops, chapter 14, says that those outside the Catholic Church will be unsaved, as is the Papal Unum Sanctum. And of course, the Syllabus of Errors, which is a must read for all traditional Catholics, which explicitly condemns. So, I especially want to talk about the reforms of King Hezekiah. So, for those who aren't familiar with Hezekiah, if you read Protestant translations, the New Translation of Scriptures, I believe would be Parpilion, and then I believe third, fourth Kings. He's the king of Judah who reigned during what is the 8th century BC. And he is famous and well known for his religious reforms. He would, especially, is that his reforms are found in the archaeological record. No one denies his existence. He is mentioned in Assyrian chronicles, specifically in Assyrian wall reliefs, breaking the king of Assyria, beating him at Lachish, and taking the population off to Assyria. So we know it says that they bound Hezekiah up in a cage. There appears to have been a whole rebellion in the area, of which by a bunch of kingdoms, including Philistine kingdoms, where Hezekiah seems to have been the ringleader of it all. And it was working even in concert with the Babylonians to break Assyrian power. It was an interesting time. Specifically, I really should do a live just on Hezekiah. I guess this is kind of that live, but we're focusing in on his religious reforms and how they precurse traditional Catholic doctrines. So, if you look at my YouTube channel, there are two YouTube videos. One is of me showing them reconstructed. They took it down, dismantled it, brought it to the Israel Museum, and put up there the shrine at Tel Arad, which had been, there's evidence that it was canceled, so it had been built up. And it looks like the whole city wasn't destroyed, but just that temple structure, and it was pulled down around the time of King Hezekiah. It looks like they'd taken the standing stone that had been there and laid it flat. What is more, there's also at Lachish a gate shrine where I go. I go inside it very briefly. I was very rushed. I was on a class trip when I was there, but it shows that they had the incense altar there. They had broken off the horns of it. They had a computer plaster up the wall where the setting stone would have been kept, and they threw a toilet into the old Holy of Holies in the shrine at Lachish. Now, what is interesting is that the deity that is being worshipped there is likely the God of Israel. Actually, in fact, idolatry as a wide phenomenon. I remember taking a class with Yossi Garfinkel. It's mentioned that there was idolatry going on prior to Hezekiah, but by and large, it really did not blow up until after King Hezekiah and his reign. So most of these shrines should be properly understood as belonging to the God of Israel. So, and yet Hezekiah is being praised for tearing down these shrines. So if you look at Second Chronicles, one of the things that the king of Assyria screams at in front of the whole hearing of the people of Jerusalem after he's destroyed Judah and ransacked it, says, "Oh, you see, trust in the Lord." He says, "Huh? Did Hezekiah tear down this God of Israel's shrines?" Um, the answer is yes. Anyway, I have to cut this life short, but long story short, Hezekiah's reforms did bring about Hezekiah's reforms do precurse the fact that there's only to be one true temple. That precurse the fact there's only one true church outside of which no one is saved. Anyway, God bless. Have a great day. Check on SSPX Church.